The program is designed to walk you around or teach you how you can build your own apps, right? Your own apps, your own website, anything software basically, right? So the goal is to show you, okay, these are the tools you can use. And beyond showing you that this, and that is the tools you can use, we'll also do what live um presentations, right? So how is the class designed? The class is designed to hold twice a week, right? Twice a week. So what do I mean by twice a week? But we have extra days that are assigned for extra things. So what am I saying? On Tuesdays and on Thursdays, you have classes from 8 to 9:30. That's Tuesday, Thursday. Then Saturday is totally optional, right? Saturday is totally optional. It's more of bug fixing. So let's say we give you an assignment or you are working on a project based on what we are teaching you, and as at Saturday, you have not been able to figure it out. What Saturday is meant for is to give you that extra guide, right? Then every other day, you are left to build on your own angle. So when I tell people you can actually build basically anything, I currently have two SaaS products that are generating income and all are all built with AI. So you can basically build anything, any product. But the thing there is building anything or any product, we are there to help you see how you can lay the foundations, right? Take for instance, setting up your back end and your front end. There is an approach you are meant to use to set it up, right? It's not just having the two files together. No, there is a technique. It took me 1 year for me to figure out how to do that. When you are building in that kind of scale and a product that like up to 10,000 persons can use and it will not crash, right? A backend that can handle such kind of traffic. So it took me years to figure out. So by way of introduction, my name is Ibutam Alexander. I'm the head of innovation at Mahadumia and Centratutor. So if you just check the word Centratutor or Mahadumia, they are all verified startups or companies that run smoothly in Nigeria, right? And what we do is beyond providing educational apps, we hold webinars across UK and Nigeria. Take for instance, the current webinar that is currently being organized is going to run simultaneously for people in UK and people in Nigeria. So that being said, let me show you some examples because we barely don't have time. Our target is we're going to build a website for anybody on the call, right? I don't know you, you don't know me, but we are planning to see how we can build a website. So these are some of the works by our students. Like this particular one, this is a week one assignment. This particular website you are seeing here was done after the first week of assignment, right? It was done by a student. It's a student's work. It's just that they gave us permission. If I share this document with you, they gave us permission to be able to, display their work and all that. Why these other ones are the ones we used in class. We taught them in class. So that being said, this particular website has to do with automation, right? So, like I said, is building with AI is a thing of as far as your eyes can see, right? Or as long as you can imagine. This is one of the products or things I'm working on that I just left one side, but it's meant to be a customer respondent platform that is going to work with an anytime backend. So that being said, this is Mahadumia. This is Mahadumia. Yeah, this is where I work. This entire website was built with AI. This entire website was built with AI. Now you are seeing the basic front end. This is not even the hard part of this website. The thing that makes this website interesting is this mock test system. This mock test system you are seeing here is so advanced that it has about three different layers. It has a student layer, it has an institutional layer, it has this is what I'm saying. I don't even know if this. Okay, let me try this. So it has an institutional layer. It has a a user layer, and it has an admin layer. This is also one of the products we worked on in class, right? Doing a particular cohort. we worked on this. This is a student's work, like this is a student's product. So how you will know is AI generated is if you observe the images are not real, the images are AI generated. That's just a confirmation that they were done with AI, right? They were done with AI. You also have this. This is a particular product we are currently building. We built it in one of the cohorts, right? But it's not fully integrated. So all I'm saying is all these foundations, or are you talking about e-commerce? We have done something on e-commerce. This is this particular one was, you know, developed partly for e-commerce. So in essence, there is literally nothing you want to build that you cannot build with AI. There's nothing you want to build that you cannot build with AI. And not just to wait, I wouldn't want to waste your time on this call, because time is also very precious for me. I have another appointment by exactly 9 p.m. So that being said, we are going to build what a website for one of the students, anybody on the call. But how would your class be structured? Like I said, on Tuesdays, you will have what? On Tuesdays, you have live class. On Wednesday, you have live class. Then on what? On Saturday, we are meant to assist you. You share your screen and all that, right? And then last, but now any Saturday that a student is sharing their screen, because of UK privacy law, like I said, we could collaborate with both Nigerian people based in Nigeria and people based in UK. So because of Euro privacy laws, whenever a student shares their screen on a live class, let's say especially Saturdays, that particular live class bug fixing, this is where I'm referring to class structure. Class structure, this is where I'm referring to bug fixing. So Saturday is for bug fixing. Whenever a student shares their screen, we do not give out that video because of what? Data privacy protection, right? For me as a tutor, I can be able to navigate around how not to show sensitive information, but some students by mistake or by chance might be able to, show things they're not meant to show. So that's why whenever a student shares their screen on Saturdays, that particular video is eliminated. So what are we going to do throughout the cohorts? Sorry, excuse me. So throughout the cohort, one thing we have decided, this particular cohort or our cohort has been renovated. We have done about 2 existing cohorts this year. We currently have a cohort that is ongoing. They even have a live stream by Sunday. Yes, by tomorrow being Sunday, where we'll do a live stream with our old students, right? And we have to build a product for them. But that aside, so what are we going to do? So after much review, doing cohorts in 2 different styles, right? We have been able to figure out that okay, it's time for us to start focusing more on the student building their project and not just be giving assignments. Why did we choose this approach? Because when you are building your own project, it helps you to have the zeal or the passion to want to see it to the very end. So that being said, from your week 1, you are going to do what we call product blueprint, ideation, and prompt engineering. So now everything is a rough idea. Ideas are in millions, right? So the section or your first class is to help you figure out an idea that might interest you. For somebody, you might decide to say, oh, I would like to make money from schools. So can I build a school management system? For someone else, I would like to make money from offices. Can I build an office management system? For somebody else, can I build a hospitality management system? Right? For somebody else, can I build an estate management system? For instance, the current product we want to use, right, to teach you is something we hope to deploy to real production as a SaaS product after the cohort, right? That is something that we are going to buy an actual domain. We are going to go the extra miles of making sure that it is production ready as an estate management system and trust for the very best as a second business option for us. So it's not that we are teaching you something that we are not going to push to the market. The cohort is designed for founders. This exact cohort that we're dealing with on this April. So what are we saying? On Tuesday, Thursday, so we are going to have a section where we show you how to get good ideas, right? How to get good ideas. Now, beyond showing how to get you good ideas, we are going to design the idea. Some of you saw the UI design that I posted, right? So the first day has to do with you generating ideas, right? And you knowing how to prompt. What is prompting? Prompting simply means talking to an AI. Now, beyond prompting, we are going to show you how you are going to do what? Um, Build the UIs, right? UI using AI. When you are done building the UI using AI in your first week, you're already assembling things together, right? By your second week, you are talking about what's it called? Database. What do I mean by database? Now, like I said, we have done multiple cohorts, right? We have there are AI products that is not even in the curriculum, right? That we can easily tell you that, oh, you can do this with this. Take, for instance, tonight we are going to build a website with an AI tool that is not even in your curriculum. That's just an added advantage. But the curriculum is designed to show you a direct path, right? That you can use and build an app that is scalable, an app that can take 10,000, 15,000 users, 100,000 users, and it will not crash, right? And beyond crashing, crashing is even the least problem. Cost management, cost management. Take, for instance, you can see that for our infrastructure in your week two, when you are entering infrastructure, we'll be talking about database. We are going to be using MongoDB. We are going to be using AWS. What is AWS? AWS S3 bucket. That's to tell you about image processing, storing of image, storing of video, storing of audio on your own app. Now, the thing is, out of experience, you know, there are things you might think, oh, I can Google it. Yes, you can Google it. You can see there's nothing hidden. We are showing you our curriculum. Yes, you can Google it. But take, for instance, let me give you a practical example. The first time I used AWS, right? If you know anybody that does coding, right? AWS S3 will give you a raw URL, right? But the fact is, if you don't convert your URL to CloudFront inside the same AWS, a project that is supposed to be costing you, let's say, $100 a month can read a cost of $300 a month, right? So that means an AWS, what's it called? If you are doing something that has to do with a little project, that maybe you are supposed to be seeing your cost as $0.5. You'll be seeing it in 20 something dollars, and you're asking yourself, I don't have users. How come? So there are some techniques or some settings, but that same AWS S3, instead of your users fetching the raw link, they can fetch what is called a CloudFront link, right? So that's why we are showing you when you want to build industry product, there are what techniques to use, right? So people know AWS, but you know about CloudFront. These are the knowledge you need, right? So we have to do, after integrating image and all that, storage, right? Because what we want to do is an estate management system. Why is it an estate management system? It allows people within an estate to make requests, right? Let's say you are living in an estate and we are able to onboard this platform we want to build on your estate, right? If your estate has a gym, you don't need to go there with physical cash. You just book from that particular platform, right? If your estate has bills to pay, you are going to be seeing your own personalized bill portal for you to pay. If you have a problem with electricals, you're going to be seeing an electrician request, right? So you see that the app that we're going to do is going to have about 3 layers, which is the standard minimum requirement for you to build a scalable app. Now, this is the thing we're going to show you. Most times, people see just the front, which is the part that users interact with. But to build a scalable app, you don't need just a front. You need a front. And some people will tell you you need a front and an admin section. But beyond an admin section, most times you also need what? In between layers, in between admin. Admin sees the finance. There are some persons that are not meant to see the finance, right? So all those configurations. So for this particular project, you're going to have a resident web app. You are going to have an admin command center. And beyond the admin command center, you are going to have a facility pop-up app. So what does that mean? It means that users can be able to do what? Make requests. So we are going to design a UI for it using AI. You are not going to write any single code, right? Like this year should be making me 5 years of being a professional Flutter dev. I've worked on apps that are used by thousands of users. In fact, one of our product, Mahadumia, is actually the largest JPEG app in the entire Nigeria. You can verify that. By number of download, by number of sales. Yes, you can verify that. So I've worked on scalable product by God's grace, right? And I could tell you that I can't remember, I think since late last year, I can't remember writing a floater code, that's mobile floater code. And I have done renovations on our apps, on our products. I can't remember. In fact, these days, down to what is it called? Um, GitHub push, all those things. I just tell push to GitHub. Just type push. I don't even cram GitHub commands, right? And the way I teach is I do my very best to keep templates that you can reuse, right? I do my very best to keep templates that you can reuse. Now you might be asking yourself, why am I saying all this? It's because I want you to understand what you are about going into. The building of the website is very easy. Like I said, everything I'm showing you here is the core blueprint that I use. They are the things on the curriculum. But what is not on the curriculum, for instance, the website we are going to build for any lucky person here, right, is not on the curriculum, but it's going to be an AI tool that works perfectly well, that works production ready, right? So how we're going to know who we're going to build the website for is if you have a business or a business idea, just be typing out brief details about your business and just keep it somewhere so that when we say, oh, who has a business idea we can build, right? You can just say, okay, I have one. You just post it on the comment section, and whoever places first, we just take up the idea, we'll build a website for the person. So that being said, beyond building UIs, right? Beyond doing the UIs and all that, you're going to be interfacing with MongoDB, which is your database. You're going to be interfacing with media. You don't necessarily need to know all these things. You just need to know, okay, this is what I want to achieve. What do I use to achieve it, right? Now, you're also going to be looking into payments. Yes, in this particular cohort, like I told you, our students requested for what? Payment and subscription from the previous cohort. So in this coming cohort, we're going to be covering payment. It means that we're going to integrate something like Paystack, right? Such that for this particular facility management system, like I told you, is going to be a project we tend to expand beyond this, right? A facility management system. So ideas are much. How do you come up with ideas that are making sense? Ideas that are making sense. For instance, this facility management system, we are going to build it with as a single tenant, right? Which is just for one estate. But we can actually build this same facility management system to be multi-tenant, and to just be one single app, one single software, and we can give it to multiple estates to use, right? Things like visitors management system. If you are having a visitor on your estate, from the estate gate, the whoever that is the gatesman can send a request on the on the app, and so all these are possible things you can integrate into an estate management system. And this is something that is billable. If you have been to places like Abuja, Lagos, you will see that you don't just go to an estate and you just drive in. No, most times they have to verify you. They have to know where you are going to, who you are going to, things of that nature, right? So something of that automated or that kind of management system that people within an estate can be able to request for services. They can able to call a plumber to come and fix their leaking water or their sewages, things of that nature. So beyond doing payment on our week 2, on our week 3, we are going to do what? Mobile. All our week 3 is always the same for all cohorts, right? So week 1, week 2, you are likely going to be working on the web version of the product, the payment integration, the media integration. And by your week 3, you will do what? Mobile development. Mobile development is very easy. Is very easy, right? It took me almost 2 years to be able to start billing clients on mobile development. But with the tools and set of tools that we are going to teach you in mobile development, even when you have an existing project, you can be able to fix it on yourself. So what I tell people is that this cohort is going to be focused on you. Is going to be focused on you, right? On you being able to do what? Pursue a project. So beyond what we are teaching you, you have to figure out what kind of management system can I build? What kind of product can I build that if I'm able to build this thing, I can be able to what? I don't need to sell it to somebody just once. No, I don't need to sell it to somebody just once. I just need to build it, and many people can come into that platform and they will pay me a token monthly. Like I said, hospital management, office management, school management, learning apps, gym management systems you can build. It's called SaaS product, software as a service. Do you know something as simple as a PDF converter is a software as a service? There are websites that provide such services. You just go there, you convert your Word document to PDF. There are websites that do image merging. So you just have to think of an idea you can build and that can generate you what? Passive income. And when you are good with all this, right, you'll be able to what? Build your product. So going into practical. So I've been able to explain the curriculum to everybody, right? So even if you leave now, you know what you are going to be facing on the curriculum. So that being done, the next thing we're going to do is to show you practical demonstrations, right? What we're going to teach you now this evening is not even in the curriculum. It's not, right? It's just an extra bonus, right? And the platform we're going to be using is Google Build, right? Google Build by Google. All right. There are other platforms that can do something like this, like lovable.dev. Some of you might not even know what lovable.dev is, but these are platforms that build fine interfaces like this. This was built with lovable.dev. This was built with lovable.dev. Um, this was built with, was it lovable we used in doing this one? This was built with lovable.dev, right? So all this, why this was, okay, this is the portal I was trying to access then. This is the portal I was trying to access then. I don't know, it's taking some time because it's running on a free server, so it takes some time. But this particular project was not just built on Lovable. We were able to do a different case study. We took Lovable from one side and we did actual back end on the other hand. So for tonight, without wasting much of our time, we're going to be building a website. And what you just need to type on your browser, everybody has access to Google account. You don't need to pay money to do this, right? Just type Google AI Studio. This is it on my search history, right? You just go down Google AI Studio. So that being said, right, we are going to build now. We're going to build now. So you just click on build. Look at this. This is called build inside Google AI Studio. This is called Google AI. So for this particular demonstration, the AI handles the design of the UI. So if you want to influence the design of this particular UI, you might need to get screenshots and materials and just, add to it. But just giving it a prompt can actually design the UI for you. But in our main cohort, we are not going to be doing this approach. The approach we're going to be doing is industry standard, where you yourself have to determine how the button looks. You yourself have to determine how everything is arranged. You are seeing the full design, right? You are going to be seeing the full design before you start building your project. So that being said, now is the point whereby we have to look for who has an idea. Who has an idea? Let me go to the chat box. So if you have an idea about a product, this is the time for you to business idea or anything. You sell electronics, you sell gadgets, so you need a simple website to manage your sales, or you just need the landing page. So someone should just give us a rough idea and we're going to take it from there and build something for the person. Anyone, any suggestion, please? Just type. You don't need to unmute your mic. Hello? Any ideas? Who has an idea of what they want to build? Okay, service apartment. Someone says service apartment, right? So the service apartment you just mentioned, is it going to be just showing the service apartment, or they can make their bookings on the service apartment? Or just give us a rough idea. Come up with a name, something that we can work with, please. Okay, they can make bookings from the service apartment. Give it a name, please, so that we can work with that. Okay, so currently we have a name. We have Him School Sports, Him's Villa. Which of the names should we work with, please? Okay, we can just work with anyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So now what we want to do is just to build a service apartment. What is it called? Him's Villa. We want to build a service apartment website, right? Where people can see the available rooms, see the facilities and all that. So what we're going to do is now I can come to this place and just say, build me a service apartment villa or whatsoever. But the thing there is, like I've done from experience, it will give you the actual thing you want, but it might not have all the specifications, right? So the best thing you can easily do is go over to Gemini, right? So the idea is you want something that you can use for service apartment, right? So that being said, sorry about that. You want something you can use for a service apartment. So you just say, I have an idea. I have an idea. Idea. I want, sorry, I want to build a website or a website to manage my service apartment comma from bookings to um from bookings from booking okay from booking rooms and apartments to services like gym gym okay and other facilities and other facilities. Okay, so this is the raw idea, right? The name of my business is, sorry, let me go back to the chat room to get the name. He said Hem Villas. The name of my, sorry, Gemini is Hem Villas, right? Is Hem Villas. Okay. So take a role as a full stack. For me, I will explain this full stack developer with 25 years of experience. And draft and give, okay, and write a prompt I can give to my AI builder to build the website for me. Add all modern features needed on the platform like hero page, hero section if need be, and also keep the UI Gen Z and Gen Z and modern Lagos first Nigerian style. apartment of puts all response canvas. Okay, so now I'll quickly explain what I've just done. Why it generates the prompt. I have an idea. I want to build a website. So sorry, let me read what I wrote here. So I said, I have an idea. I want to build a website to manage my apartment, right? So this is the instruction, right? From bookings to, from booking room and apartment to service like gym, other blah, blah, blah. I'll come back to this explanation once it's running. So it has given us this prompt. Because of time, I'll just copy this. While this is building, I'll come back and explain the prompt. Hope that is fine by us. So I'll quickly take this. But now, if this is a real life project, you may have to go through each and every of these specifications. You can see added an admin panel to view the owner, to see occupancy rate, revenue, pending services request. You can see that. So let's quickly go to Google Build and just start building. While it's building, we'll then come back. This is our Google Build. We'll then come back and explain what we are doing in Gemini, right? So this is currently building. It will notify me once it's done. So let me quickly go back to Gemini, right? So now going back to Gemini, what have we done so far, right? So in writing a good prompt, there are rules, right? According to Harvard research, there are rules that you have to follow to get a perfect prompt. But for me, over the time experience, it's about 7 rules: format, context, role, and all that. But for me, most times I just limit it to 3 main rules, right? Which is, one, you have your instruction, a clear instruction of what you want to do, which is, for instance, I have an idea. I want to build a website to manage my service apartment, from booking room an apartment to service like gym and other facilities. So this is what the instruction, right? The name of my business is Hems Villa. Take a role as a software. So now take a role beyond the place of you providing instruction, right? You have to do what? You have to what? Ask it to give, you have to give it a role. You have to give it a role, right? Write a prompt to give, write a prompt I can give an AI builder. So in some case, it just depends on how you interpret it. Some persons can tell you, write a prompt that you can give to an AI builder to for the website is your instruction. You're asking it to write a prompt. Some person can say that's your instruction, right? Either ways you look at it. But if you call that your instruction, that means technically you can say that this section where you say you have an idea could be referred as your context. So what am I trying to say? Let me open a new chat and show you something. New chat. Now observe what we're going to do here. If you say what is economics, that I love using economics, and you give it to what is economics. Now, when you say what is economics and you give it to an AI, you can see what is defining for you, right? Why it matters, right? Microeconomics, you can see what it just defined for you. At its simplest, economics is the study of what? Scarcity, and how human makes choices to satisfy their what? Now look at something else. If you come here and say Iran and USA is currently driving the oil price high. What is economics? You see that the whole section has changed. The whole knowledge base has changed, right? Now you can see that the current situation, March 2026, the tension has, so you see that the same what is in economics, right, has been changed from the simplest definition. Is not telling you more details about the oil price. That is the same thing we just did here. That is the same thing we just did here. When you tell the AI to take, like, when you tell the AI something like this, take a role as a full stack developer with 25 years of experience, right? And write a prompt that I can give to my AI builder. If you just say write a prompt that I can give to my AI builder, is a different scenario than when you say take a role, right? Our what we're building over here is almost complete. Is a different outcome, is a different what scenario. So all these are things we are going to show you. There are, everybody can easily Google things. Everybody can easily say, oh, how do I do this? And you are saying things. But over time, is either you pay for a consultancy or you end up using your time to figure it out. There's no two ways about it, right? There's no two ways about it. So this is the outcome of what the website is going to be looking like. Once it's done, it's almost done, we're going to see the website. And once it's ready, the next thing we're going to do is now foundation. Now you can see I'm seeing something like Firebase blueprint.js, right? Now currently Google Build automatically knows when to integrate what Firebase. Why is he integrating Firebase? Firebase software as a service is more of like an alternative to Superbase that helps you for things like your image upload, your video upload, and all that, but it's under Google Suite. Now, is Firebase good? Yes. Can you use Firebase to build actual products? The question remains yes. Can you use actual products to build what's it called? The question remains yes, you can. But what is the difference when you are using Firebase to build and when you are using the other system we are going to teach you, which is MongoDB, is that um you said, please, which of the Google tools are you using to build? Okay, this particular demonstration, we are using Google AI Studio. Once you open Google AI Studio, access to Google Build. Yes, you have access to Google Build, right? But on our main course, we're not going to be using Google Build. Google Build is good, but it's just for when you integrate it to Firebase and build with it. Yes, it can take users, but Firebase, when you have like 2,000 users, you can't predict your cost. You can wake up one morning, you are seeing a bill of $500 and you don't even know how it came about. There's no breakdown on, and all that. So our project, I was just notified now that the project is ready. I was just notified now that the project is ready. So this is your project. This is the website. This is the website, right? This is the website. This is the website to give us. This is the website to give us. So this particular website, we are going to, let me see if I can. So this is the website. This is the website to give you. Now, if you're a professional website developer, you know that doing this thing will take you hours to do. It will take you hours. It will take you hours to do. It will take you hours to do. It will take you hours to do. Right? Now, they are not all clicking. They are not all clicking. You can see their services. They have elite gym and all that. Right? So now what's the next phase for this particular project? Is now customization, where you now have to start adding your admin panels and all that. And remember, the prompt we used, we did not actually specify the colors we wanted, right? But in actual projects, you are meant to do what? Color paletting, right? You are meant to see a color palette, choose your color palette. And so all those things, that's one of the reasons why we said on your main project, the UI is going to be designed first before you go into what? Actual production, right? And just the way you have this Google Build, there is also other platforms you can use to do these kind of things, which is not even in our curriculum. Lovable. Because for me, I believe all these ones are, for projects that are you are just targeting 1,000 people, 500 people and all that. If you go to lovable.dev, you should be able to find your way around it. So that being said, I believe we have been able to show you that it's totally possible to build a website in few minutes. So imagine what we can now do when we decide to follow our curriculum to build what? This is what you are going to be building in 3 weeks. A Property Plus. Property Plus is a 360-degree management platform designed for luxury apartments, complexes, and gated community. The problem, right? The high-rise residential expect a seamless experience, but most property management is still done via fragmented WhatsApp groups or paper logs. Residents have no clear ways to track maintenance requests, and property managers struggle to coordinate technicians and verify work quality. So this is more of like a place whereby you manage your estate management system. So that being said, I believe we have been able to do justice for tonight's webinar, and you have been able to learn something new, right? So moving into the other aspect of the program now, the question you're going to ask yourself is, what will be your investment for these 3 weeks, right? These 3 weeks of you learning how to build your own UI, customize it, integrate payments, integrate media storage, and all that, right? Our classes for this cohort, what we're charging for this cohort is 30,000 naira for this program, right? And then after the 3 weeks, you're expected to do a 1 month project, a 1 month project. In that 1 month project, you're expected to use it to complete your own personal project, right? Your own personal project, something very gigantic, right? Now, at the end of the 3 weeks, for every project the project you're going to be working on for the next 1 month will be approved by us. So every student will send in their own request of intended project that they want to use 1 month and work on. And during the course of that 1 month, as you are doing your 1 month project internship, it means that you are free to consult with us for free. So that means you can send in your messages on the group and say you are stuck. Maybe, for instance, someone can have the bold step to work on a fintech product, like an app that sends money. Working on fintechs is very easy as long as you're able to verify you have a business that is valid and you're able to get your APIs. It's very easy to work on. Something like Monify, Paystack, and all that, right? You can use it to build a fintech app. If you want to build a hospital app, whatever product you want to build, right? We are there to give you technical support totally free for that 1 month. You just paste the request on the group chat. Oh, I'm having difficulty on this. One of the admins will do what? Attend to you, right? So our cohort, the 3 weeks training, is going to be costing you 30,000 naira. But on this call, for anyone that wants to make payment on this call, is going to be 25,000 naira. And once the call ends in, I think in 10 minutes time, right, on the group, I'm moving forward till 4th of April, because classes starts by what? 7th of April. Registration ends by 4th of April, right? Registration ends by 4th of April. So for everyone that is joining for the cohort, is going to be what? 30,000 naira. But on this call, for who wants to register right away, is going to be 25,000 naira. If you have any question, this is the time you can ask your questions, please. So I'll be pasting the account now on the group, on the inbox of the call, right? So check the call now. You will see the account. You will see the account details. If you have a question, please ask. This is the account detail. It has been pasted on the chatting interface. Do we have questions? Do we have questions? Do we have questions? Any question? Any question? You are free to ask your questions, please. Okay. Any question, please? Just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, good evening.
Okay, evening, please.
Okay, yeah, I want to know if there's a part payment for this, if one can, you said 25,000, if one can run it for the 3 weeks.
Actually, if you are to do a part payment, it has to be completed before the start of the program, which is 4th of April.
Okay.
So that's just it. I'm currently deploying the project now on GitHub. In the next few minutes, it should be available for hosting. So I'm currently
But good evening, sir.
evening.
Yes, is this class recorded? Like those who joined it, so that you can go to it.
Yes, the class is recorded. Like I said, it's totally free. It's totally free. The class
Okay,
is recorded.
okay,
It will be posted on YouTube hopefully tomorrow, and anyone can access it. Right?
okay,
It's
okay.
totally free. This is just the free bill. It's the free bill.
Okay.
Can you build something realistic with this? You can. You can build a production app with this. For instance, there are techniques that it takes you having understanding of what you are doing. For instance, you can build a front end on this particular Google AI build, right? Pull it down and use other tools to build the back end. Yes. For instance, this production level app you are seeing here, um, this app has multiple layers, right? This particular app was done on Lovable on front end. Then we used Node.js, which is a different AI. We used it to build the back end for this particular product. Because at that scale that we want to go, you can't build the back end on, let's say, Firebase or Lovable AI Cloud. So all those things. But something like this, let's say someone like this that has just a simple business, you can use Google Build and
Sir,
build it. Everything is fine. Okay, you have a question, please.
sir,
Ask
for
your
the
question.
payment, sir, for the payment, can we pay instrumentally, sir?
Like I said, if you want to pay instrumentally, there is no issue, but it has to be completed before 4th of April. That is it.
4th of April.
That
So
is it.
what
Or
should be the
else
first payment?
it's left for you. It's left for you. But what I know is that by the 4th of April, if you're not if your payment is not complete, your money will be refunded with probably a slash of 25% of what you paid.
Okay, sir.
So you just have to think it through. Someone said if they can get the video. Yes, you can get the video. The class is totally free. So for those that are interested in registering for the class, while on this call, you are allowed to pay 25,000. But once this class ends, right, your payment is 30,000 naira. So if you are moving to pay instrumental, just know it's 30,000 naira after this call. Now, the fact is this same class that you are seeing, when we start the class, you see some people from UK. What UK is paying for this particular course is £100. The difference between people in UK and people in Nigeria is that beyond the Saturday class, UK is having extra package of one-on-one training. That is for the personal project they are working on. They are having extra one-on-one live class, which is 1 hour per week, and what they are paying is what £100. But now, if you ask Nigerians to pay 185,000 for a 3 week course, they'll be like, but now it's the same quality that you're getting. The only difference is that you that is in Nigeria, you are allowed to ask your question on the group chat. Why those that are in UK, they ask their question on a live call, right? So that is it. I think someone else raised their hand. Some to worry or something like that. I don't know. Please don't be offended. Oputa or something like that. You raised your hand.
I've asked the question concerning part installment. You have answered
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Adekunle, you raised your hand, please. You can ask your question, please. Okay, you have just someone is asking we should because I just told you how much people in UK is paying. How much do you take in building websites? The website I just built for you now, if I do 3 or 4 prompts, it will be fully functional. And if you are an apartment owner, if I go and meet you and say, okay, pay me brother and sister relationship, I want to build for you a website. How much do I charge you to build for you a website? You cannot even get if you tell somebody you want to build for them, the least you can collect for a landing page is at least 150,000. The least you can collect, and that same 150,000 you are collecting excludes your domain cost, and you are going to do it in 20 minutes, and you're making 150,000. So the cost is over low, right? And I just gave you two free what's it called? Two free platforms you can build websites totally like this Google Build. Now you can build, as long as you have a Google account, is almost free, right? Almost free, except when you start prompting long. While Lovable, the other one I showed you, you have to pay for credit, right? But our students, we tell them how they can get multiple free credits and all that. So the knowledge is out there for you to explore, right? The knowledge is out there for you to explore. So imagine what you are going to be doing with us for 3 weeks. Imagine when you are going to be designing a full-blown, UI, something like Figma. Now, when you design a project on Figma, UI designers will charge you at least for a production level app. They will charge you like 250,000, 200, 250,000, depending on who is involved, just to design for you an app that will have the desktop view, have the mobile view, and have the web view. They will charge you at least and have an admin section. If you have an admin section, no do, maybe 50, 250,000. But that same design package, we're going to show you an AI that will design the entire UI workflow in less than 30 minutes. That will design it from scratch. So the cost is the price is is fair enough. So please, I'll be leaving now. I feel we have done enough for tonight's class, right? For you to land jobs and foreign gigs, the question is, what are you bringing to the table? You have to be super good. What I tell people is, I can't remember the last time I submitted my CV. I graduated 2022, right? I can't remember the last time I submitted my CV. The thing there is, when you get your first client, which is likely to be someone who knows you here in Nigeria, how well did you deliver the job, right? How well did you deliver the job? If you deliver the job, almost everybody needs a website. Almost everybody needs a website. Almost every business, even your friend that is selling on WhatsApp, you can convince the person, oh, let me help you and build a website, right? I can charge you 100,000 naira because I know you are selling on WhatsApp, right? To build your website. But you know that the time you are putting on to do that website is less than 20 minutes and you are done. You are done, right? So at this point, I have another section by 9 p.m. I'll be ending the class now. And for those that were unable to pay while we were on the call, kindly note that the class is going to be sold for 30,000 naira.